Welcome to Crack Defense. I hope you all are doing great with your studies. Okay, I know chemistry is little boring for lots of students who are not very interested towards chemistry. So, uh, I know that it's difficult for you to study all these things, but have patience and study a bit and just try to crack your exam in just first attempt. Okay, so and uh, jitna jaldi you'll study utna jaldi you'll get your dream job, and then you don't have to study anything in chemistry. Okay, so study as much as you can, hit for your exam and crack it. Okay, so what we were doing, we were studying acid, bases and salts. So acid and base part was already done. Okay, so acid was completed, basis was completed. Now we are doing salt. Okay, so in this lesson we will cover salts. Okay, so first we should know what are salts. So these are ionic compounds made of cations and anions. Now these two terms, cations and anions, I hope you all must know by this point of time, because I've already discussed what cations are, what anions are, and how they are formed, okay, in my previous lesson. So if you have it, do watch it. So these are certain examples of salt. So these are commonly used salt: baking soda, we use it in our kitchen. Water, washing soda, POP. This is being used by doctors. Bleaching powder. This is used for cleaning purpose. Copper sulfate, lime, potassium nitrate, MgOH. All these things you must have used in some point of time. Okay. So these are salts. Now we'll study the properties of these salts. So first we have baking soda. Okay, so this is the reaction of baking soda. Okay, so this is the reaction of baking soda, and baking soda is something which is used in your kitchen to make tasty and crispy pakoras. Okay, so when you add baking soda, it will add that extra crisp to your pakoras. Okay, and that makes your pakoras more tasty. So that is what is baking soda. And here how it is formed. So when NaCl it reacts with H2O, CO2 and NH3, it will form ammonium chloride and sodium hydrogen carbonate. Okay, this sodium hydrogen carbonate is called as baking soda. So in my previous lessons also I have used this reaction of sodium carbonates and sodium hydrogen carbonates. So ये जो sodium hydrogen carbonate है, this is baking soda. Okay, so when you heat baking soda, when you heat the sodium hydrogen carbonate, we will get sodium carbonate. Okay, so this is one reaction of baking soda. So when sodium hydrogen carbonate is heated, it will form sodium carbonate. And this is also added, baking soda is also added in food to faster the cooking process. Okay, अगर खाना जल्दी पकाना है, so for that also we add baking soda. Okay, and it can also be used while acidity. Okay, acidity हो रही है तभी भी you can use this baking soda. Okay, because it neutralizes acid in your stomach. So these are the uses of baking soda in your daily life. Now after this we have washing soda. Okay, so baking soda ka formula you all have studied by now: sodium hydrogen carbonate. Now sodium carbonate is washing soda. Okay, so when sodium carbonate reacts with H2O, it forms this. Okay, so this is what is baking soda. Okay, this is sodium carbonate and this is baking soda, sorry, washing soda. Okay, so the formula of washing soda is Na2CO3 dot 10H2O. So this is washing soda. Now here recrystallization of Na2CO3 gives washing soda. Okay, so here it is getting recrystallized to form washing soda. And if I tell you about the importance of this, the use of this, so it is used for removing the hardness of water. Okay, so this was the use of washing soda. Now next we have plaster of Paris. Okay, plaster of Paris. So here plaster of Paris, how it is formed? When gypsum is heated, okay, so when gypsum is heated, it will lose water and it will form plaster of Paris, okay. And how you can use plaster of Paris? When plaster of Paris is reacted with water, it will form gypsum. तो ये एक रिएक्शन होंगे जो इस तरफ भी हो रहे हैं और इस तरफ भी हो रहे हैं, ओके. सो दिस इज the reaction. So how plaster of Paris is formed? When gypsum will react with water, sorry, when gypsum is heated, it loses water and it will form POP. And this POP has been used by doctors. प्लास्टर हो जब प्लास्टर करते हैं so यही वाला POP यूज करते हैं, okay. And when POP reacts with water, this will form gypsum. So this was all about plaster of Paris. Now next we have bleaching powder, okay. So bleaching powder here, when CaOH twice, okay, this is called dry slaked lime, okay. So when this reacts with Cl2, that is chlorine gas, so when dry slaked lime reacts with chlorine gas, it will form CaOCl2 plus H2O, okay. So CaOCl2 is bleaching powder, okay. So what is the formula of bleaching powder? CaOCl2, okay. So this was the reaction. And if I tell you about the uses of bleaching powder, so to make a drinking water free from germs, okay, so drinking water को साफ करने के लिए, so many a times हमारी पानी की टंकी होती है, so उसमें हम जब पानी को हमें साफ करना होता है, so what we do that we add bleaching powder. ये हम लोग नहीं करते, usually जो सप्लाई आता है वाटर का, so there that has been done. So many a times you must have noticed कि पानी बहुत में बहुत bleaching smell आ रहा है, okay. So that is because bleaching powder has been added to remove the germs that are present in the water, okay. So that was one of the use. Then bleaching powder is also used as an oxidizing agent in many industries, in many chemical industries. So that was the use of bleaching powder. So I hope all this thing is clear. So if I summarize this, so what we have studied in salts, we studied what salts are. We studied different common salts, okay. Then we studied baking soda, okay, baking soda ka reaction. We studied what happens when you react sodium hydrogen carbonate, okay, when you heat sodium hydrogen carbonate. Then we have studied washing soda and plaster of Paris, okay. How plaster of Paris is formed from gypsum and how gypsum is formed from plaster of Paris, okay. So that we have studied. And in the next slide we studied what bleaching powder is, okay, uses of bleaching powder. So I hope all these things are clear. Now one little topic that is being left are about the indicators, okay. So in my last lesson, in my first class of acid, bases and salts, I have told you about litmus paper, okay. So litmus paper is an indicator. So here I have told you that how you can use this litmus paper to identify whether the bottles around you is acidic or basic in nature. So I hope this was clear, okay. Now we'll study few more indicators which was left. So the other indicators which we'll study is the methyl orange and the phenolphthalein indicator, okay. So litmus paper was the first indicator, and now we have methyl orange and phenolphthalein indicator, okay. Both methyl orange and phenolphthalein, they are orange in color when they are present in their neutral state, okay. So in neutral state they are present in orange color. Now we use these indicators to identify whether the chemical we are using is acidic in nature or basic in nature. So how we identify? So this is what is written here. So when methyl orange, when you react it with acid, so with acid it gives red color, okay. So what you'll do, suppose few bottle is kept in front of you, you'll take one bottle and you don't know in that bottle what is there, okay, whether it is acid or whether it is base, or okay, whether it is yeah, whether it is acid or whether it is base. So what we'll do, that we'll take a bottle, we'll take any bottle, we'll take a bit of that solution, okay, in a different test tube, okay, then in that test tube you will add methyl orange, okay, and if the color is changing to red, it means the solution which you have taken was acidic, was acid, okay, so the solution which you have taken was acid. And if after adding methyl orange the color turns to yellow, so that means that the solution which you have taken was basic solution, okay. So to brief it, when methyl orange reacts with acid it gives red color, and when methyl orange reacts with base it gives yellow color. Now same is with in case of phenolphthalein, okay. In phenolphthalein also, uh, okay, so these are the experiments in your chapter, okay. So I don't know whether in your school you have performed these experiments or not, but these are the experiments which you will surely perform in your coming classes, in your coming college days, or if you further study. So in case of phenolphthalein, so when you have sort similar, we'll repeat the same experiment. So 2 3 bottles are there, you'll take one bottle, and in that bottle you'll take a little bit of that solution, you'll take it in another test tube, and in that when you add phenolphthalein, okay, so ये test tube है, ठीक है, इसमें थोड़ा सा सोल्यूशन आपने लिया, okay, you don't know whether this solution is acidic in nature or basic in nature. Now in this test tube you are adding phenolphthalein, okay, थोड़ा सा इंडिकेटर डाल रहे हैं, सो इंडिकेटर थोड़ा सा ही डालते हैं, सो यू विल ऐड 1 or 2 drops of phenolphthalein indicator in this test tube. Now if the solution is changing to pink color, it means the chemical which you have taken was basic in nature, okay. And when it will not change, वो ही कलर रहेगा जो पहले था, so it means that the solution which you have taken was acidic in nature, okay. So these are certain ways through which you can determine whether the substance is acid or base, okay, whether the solution is acidic in nature or basic in nature. So these are the indicators. So 3 indicators which you have: first one is litmus paper, then you have methyl orange, and then you have phenolphthalein indicator. So I hope things are clear. I hope you are getting everything. And if you are not getting things, do comment it in the comment section. I will come up with your doubts. And happy learning. All the best. Now, next we'll study other chapter, that is metals and non-metals. So that will be our 5th chapter. So happy learning. Bye bye.